Interesting story. I was late picking up my issue of Captain Marvel number 8 because all that week I was working a lot and I didn't get paid until Friday, so I decided to pick my comics up on Saturday when I had some time and money. When I went to pick it up, the person behind the counter told me that, hey, you're lucky you're keeping this on your pull because right now it's going for anywhere between 20 and 30 bucks. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. I wonder why. Oh, right. Oh boy. Let's get into this. Howdy, folks. We are back with more comic reviews. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about issue 8 of Captain Marvel. Now, this is from Kelly Thompson and Carmen Carnero. And I have to say, by kind of spoiling things, this is easily the best issue of the series so far. And I've really liked the series so far. Matter of fact, I feel like this might be the best run on Captain Marvel since the changeover to Captain Marvel with Kelly Sue DeConnick. Let me just get into the nitty-gritty of what's so good about this one. Okay, it starts off with just another alien invasion in Manhattan. Must be Tuesday. Captain Marvel shows up and she's got Spider-Woman in hazmat, giving her backup as usual. But some unusual things happen this time around. First off, a brand new superhero out of nowhere who looks a lot like her, like tall, white, blonde and stuff, called Star, shows up and kind of taking out the aliens all by herself. Meanwhile, Carol gets taken out pretty easily, where she's rescued by Spider-Woman in this really cool scene. I have to say, like, something about their friendship is really endearing to me because it started out with Spider-Woman saving Carol's life, and I feel like ever since then, like, Jessica Drew has felt responsible for Carol. Like, even though Carol's like 10 times more powerful than she is, probably 100 times more powerful than she is, she still feels like responsible for keeping her safe and stuff like that. I don't know, it's very sweet. And this really cool sequence, by the way, of her jumping to her rescue. Hazmat, of course, provides really strong backup. And after it's all over, Carol rescues one of the alien invaders. It's a Kree, and he is taken into authorities. But after that, word gets out that Carol is half Kree herself, and this does answer a question that I had since the Life of Captain Marvel miniseries is, how many people did she share the secret with? Really never got into this, and apparently the answer was barely anybody, at least not the public. And the public turns on her pretty quick. And that's the thing about the general populace of the Marvel Universe. Boy, they sure are ingrates, aren't they? Hey, we don't care if the Fantastic Four or X-Men or whoever have saved our very existence a million times over. That one thing they did makes me really uncomfortable. Let's kick them out. And that's essentially what she starts going on. And there's a political discourse about, how true is she? Should she just leave? She even gets a notice from the military that they want to start discussing, possible dismissal from service. This kind of brings Carol down to a really low level, and she is once again helped by reinforcements. This is what's a nice callback. I really like the idea that in the first story arc, through a really extreme circumstance, Carol's kind of put together with a small pack of friends that she made. Of course, Hazmat, the other Jessica, Jessica Jones, Echo, Monica Rambeau shows up. Let's see, and She-Hulk as well. And they try to kind of cheer up and talk to her and hang out with her. And what's really cool is She-Hulk does this thing where she gives her a sparring match to, kind of have her like take out some aggression, which was very helpful. But it ends with her still kind of feeling really down and beaten by the whole situation, and even like considering like falling back onto alcoholism. That's when Minerva shows up out of nowhere and says these people don't deserve you, and makes her an offer, which she seemingly takes. But of course, we all know better than that kind of thing. This is really quite good, and as I mentioned, this is the best issue of the series thus far. And there's a few things going on here, and of course, Kelly Thompson does something interesting, which I've seen some other writers do with iconic superheroes, like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Captain America, where they take the out of universe discussion about the character and place it in context in the universe of the series. And of course, anybody who lives in geek culture and eats that stuff up every day know there were like tons of arguments going on with the Captain Marvel movie, and this character sometimes just pisses off a certain type of person. And it does feel like Thompson is kind of addressing that a little bit in this, because let's face it, like if Carol was a real person, there would be people not on her side, and they would sound very much like this. And I think you can see that played out in the real world, and yeah, that does seem to be the case. So this got a lot of attention because it came out the week that Trump was essentially like criticizing several congresswomen of color to go back to their own countries, even though 3 of them are from this country and the 4th one is a citizen. So what other country? This country? You think we should fix up this one? Well, that's what we're kind of trying to do. But that kind of like lends itself to that like old like argument people will throw at someone who is of a different nationality. Like, you're only with us as long as you agree with us. The second you have any kind of like opinion outside of the norm, then you're an alien to us and you have to go. That's something people of color constantly have to deal with. And that's what is made of Carol once the general public realizes that she's half Cree now. So cat's out of the bag, and we'll definitely see where she goes from this. This is one of the things I like so much about Carol, is that she has made herself like an iconic role model in the Marvel universe. For Americans and for women and for young women and stuff like that. She really has gone wholeheartedly into this idea of being a role model for characters. That's her becoming Captain Marvel instead of just staying Miss Marvel or that stupid Warbird name. And what I like is that occasionally butts heads with the type of person she is. She has a lot of self-hatred and deals, has a lot of trouble with alcoholism. She's very much like Tony Stark in some ways, which is why those two butt heads the way they do. And this, really digs into the meat of this. Now I'm very curious. This is only part 1 of this story arc, so I'm very curious to see where this goes. But this is really great. At the moment I'm doing this video, this is a little bit hard to get because of the circumstances. This will obviously be reprinted, collected in trade. You can probably find digitals that are cheaper. There will be other methods, but you can get your hands on this one. I definitely recommend it. At the very least, when you get the whole story arc, check it out. This is easily 5 out of 5 RAM chips. Loved it a lot. What did you, the viewers at home, think? Let me know in the comments below. We could talk about it, and you can support me through Patreon. You can also click like, subscribe, and click the notification bell because YouTube pays a lot of attention to that stuff. Also, you can follow me on various social media places like Twitter, Facebook, and I'm also on Instagram. So, I think that's it we're going to be talking later. I'm going to be doing a new episode of This Week in Comics very soon, and I got some other stuff coming up. Push the button, Lindsay.
They don't play the song on the radio. They don't show that it's on the radio. They don't know that we are the media. They don't know that we start the media. I don't want to see what I'm making you. I see some big seat and I'm shaking you. Walking down the street, I'm the lady.